All right, let's go into our third objection, which is going to be think about it. So think about it, we're going to use our same framework, acknowledge, confirm, ask. So you get to the end of the sale, you present, okay, this is the best option for you, you're ready to go. And they say, man, this sounds awesome, but I really just need to think about it. I never make a decision the day of. I want to sleep on it for a day or maybe a couple days, and then I'll get back to you. What we don't want to do, again, is immediately go into objection overcome. All that's going to do is put them on their guard, and it's going to start to become a fight. So instead, we acknowledge that objection. Say, oh, absolutely. Of course you want to think about it. Like, totally understand. Like, look, I'm kind of the same way. Sometimes I don't like to jump into things. I want to make sure that I have all the information. So I'll absolutely, like, as much time as you need. What do you need? A day, a week, a month? Like, I don't want to put any pressure on you. If you need to think about it, like, absolutely more than okay. Like, how long do you need, right? So then you're acknowledging the objection that they want to think about it, making it completely reasonable, saying you're on the same side as them, that it's a good idea, and then you're asking a clarifying question of like, how long do you need, right? Usually with that, I'll usually extend out the timeline almost to an extreme level to where they're like, oh, well, I don't need a month, I don't need 2 months, like, I mean, maybe a day or two. It's like, okay, perfect, got it, no problem. I'll check in with you in a couple days. So first thing we're going to do is acknowledge. Now, then we want to go to the next thing, confirm the value. Now, look, I know you want to think about it for the next couple days, but I just want to ask you a couple questions if you don't mind, because here's the thing. I've done this a lot. I've done thousands of these, sales consultations, and 99% of the people that don't sign up the day they come in don't sign up, period. And I know you want to think about it, and look, there is that small 1% that go think about it and they do sign up. Maybe you're in that category. But more often than not, when I hear people say that they want to think about it, it's not actually that they want to think about it. It's that they have a particular objection at that time that they don't necessarily want to bring up. And in that case, what I've found, more often than not, it's usually a price issue. And it's not that you don't think the value's there. It's not that you don't think that this is a great fit. But coming in, you had an expectation that it would be a certain price. And then you saw the pricing, and it was just a lot more than you expected. So I'm not saying that that's the case for you, but this happens a lot with other people. So I just wanted to check in and be curious, like, does that happen to be the case that maybe this is just a little bit more expensive than you thought, right? And so that is confirming the value around price, which we know when somebody wants to think about it, 90+% of the time, it's actually a price objection. It's not a time to think about it objection. And so what I want to do is I want to utilize social proof and say, hey, I'm not saying like, because if you say like, oh, well, actually most of the time when people say this, it's just that they can't afford it and they're broke. Like, are you broke? Like that is not what you want to do. What you do want to do is you want to say, hey, there's a lot of people that the same thing happens. When they say like, hey, I want to think about it, they're actually saying, this is a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be. So what I want to think about is how expensive this is, and do I want to do that? But I don't necessarily want to say that to you. And this happens all the time. So I'm not saying that's the case, but it does happen a lot with these other people, social proof. Totally fine if that's you. Does that happen to be the case with you, where you fall into the same bucket of hundreds of other people that when they say think about it, it's actually a price issue? So what that does, it lowers the barrier for them, where it makes it safe for them to say, yeah, honestly, like, this is a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be. It's like, okay, cool. So it is actually that we just got to figure out what your budget is and see if there's something that we can work in there. It's actually more of a price issue. It's not necessarily to think about it, right? They're like, yeah, honestly, I think you're right. Okay, cool. Now we work on the real objection, price. How do we get past that? Acknowledge, confirm, ask. You use the same framework, right? And we already taught that one. Watch the price video if you want to see how we work through that particular objection. But in this case, think about it. That's where we go. Now, let's say you throw out the pricing objection and they say, no, honestly, like, I can't afford it. If I had to pay for it right now, I absolutely can do it. I have the money. The thing is, like, I've done this in the past where I've signed up for stuff and then I haven't committed, I haven't done it. It's like, okay, got it. So it's actually not a think about it objection. It's a not sure if results or commitment objection. That they're not sure if they're going to be able to do this. They're not sure that if they sign up, they're personally going to be committed to be able to do this thing. So that is a completely different objection, and what we want to do is we want to use the framework to dial in on that objection. So whenever somebody says they want to think about it, they want to think about something. What's the thing that they want to think about? That's the true objection. The objection is not just think about it. They're not just going to go home and sit there and like, I've literally used this as I call it the rocking chair close. When somebody says I want to think about it, they go like, oh, cool, totally understand. So like, how long do you need? What do you want? Like a week, like 2 weeks? And they're like, oh yeah, like a week would be great. I'm like, okay, cool. So just to be clear, so you're going to go home, you're going to call off work for the next week. You're like, kids, look, you're on your own. I'm not making dinner. I'm going to sit in my rocking chair and I'm just going to think like for 7 days, like, do I want to join Conquer Fitness? Like, that's what you're going to do, right? And, you know, they laugh, I laugh, we have a good time, right? And they're like, no, that's not. And I'll tell them, look, the reason I'm saying that is because 99% of people like you are super busy. The minute you walk out of here, even though you want to think about it, you're going to be like, oh crap, I got to go get dinner and I got to, pick up my son from soccer practice and I got all this crap that I got to do. And I'm going to follow up with you in 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, whatever timeline you give me. And I'm going to say, hey, I know you said you want to think about it. What are you thinking? There you go. Oh my God, I've just been so busy. I haven't even had a chance to think about it. Can you check in with me next week? Oh, absolutely. Check in next week. Man, you know what? I'm just so busy right now. Haven't even had a chance to think about it. Honestly, I don't think there's a good time for it. Like, check back in a couple months, right? Do you think it's likely that we have that conversation? Answer is probably going to be yes, right? And so all you want to do is you want to speak to these potential objections. And if you are able to uncover the real objection, you use the same framework of acknowledge, confirm, ask to get past the real objection, which is not think about it. It's either going to be price or spouse or busy schedule or not sure if results commitment. And then you utilize the same framework to actually get past the real objection, and that's how you're able to close them on that same day.